welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Uzma Jafri. Let's see what we have lined up for you this week. Political activists lambast Pakistan for announcing provisional province status to Gilgit-Baltistan. People in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir upset over destroying existing infrastructure in the region. Nasreen Akhtar, a young woman entrepreneur from Pulwama in Kashmir Valley. Authorities in Srinagar start restoration work of a historical building. And later, we will take you to the holy city of Amritsar in Punjab, where the Sikh community celebrated the birth anniversary of Sri Guru Ram Das in our special edition of Incredible India. Pakistan's drama and outcry over the Kashmir has turned out to be a hoax. Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced the illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan to be a provisional province of Pakistan. It has prompted a criticism from both activists and the local residents. Kashmiri activists living in exile have termed it a black day as Pakistan has acted on the behest of its ally China. Take a look.
People across Gilgit-Baltistan are up in arms against Islamabad's decision of integrating the illegally occupied region with the rest of Pakistan. In the run-up to the assembly elections in the so-called autonomous region, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan recently announced that the region will become a provisional province of Pakistan, a declaration that has drawn massive condemnation from across the spectrum. Activists wonder as to how an occupying state, which has no locus standi over the region, can take a call of subsuming it with the rest of Pakistan.
Imran Khan's speech is a merely election stunt aimed at bagging pro-province votes in Gilgit-Baltistan. Gilgit-Baltistan is an integral part of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and we shall never let Pakistan to either change its status or to divide it further. Pakistani continued occupation of Gilgit-Baltistan and POJK is clear violation of the United Nations resolutions, and we demand that Pakistan must immediately withdraw all forces and citizens from Gilgit-Baltistan and POJK.
New Delhi has strongly protested and has asked Pakistan to roll back all its decisions regarding imposing authority over illegally occupied regions. India says that it has the legal ownership over the territory owing to Kashmir's entire and irrevocable accession to India in 1947. India has also urged Pakistan to vacate places it has been illegally occupying for more than 7 decades. Observers have been taken by surprise as they say that Pakistan always knew about its immoral authority over the region. And it was due to this that Pakistan maintained even at international platforms that Gilgit-Baltistan was a disputed territory. So what exactly has changed now? China. Yes, it is China's growing sway in Pakistan's decision-making that has shaped Islamabad's call. China wants Gilgit-Baltistan to have a political status within the constitutional framework of Pakistan so that its ambitious China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, that is CPEC, doesn't suffer any political roadblocks. Status elevation would also mean that Pak-China nexus can go to any levels of exploitation without undergoing right scrutiny. People say they will never accept being part of Pakistan as their true identity is Indian.
People of Gilgit-Baltistan are Indian citizens. Pakistan's only one job that the United Nations gave to Pakistan was to withdraw from Gilgit-Baltistan. But Pakistan and China have colluded to maximize exploitation and abuse of local resources. In order to give a constitutional cover to their illegal activities in Gilgit-Baltistan and the violation of the United Nations resolutions, Pakistan has decided to give Gilgit-Baltistan province status without giving full constitutional rights.
तुम कल भी काबिज थे, तुम आज भी काबिज हो, और तुम कल भी काबिज ही रहोगे। इसलिए तुम्हें बड़े मुद्दबाना तरीके से हम ये कह रहे हैं कि हमारी धरती से अपने नापाक कदम हटा लो, दफा हो जाओ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान से, दफा हो जाओ पाकिस्तानी कब्जे वाले जम्मू कश्मीर से, इससे पहले कि तुम्हें ठुड्डे और लातें और धक्कों के साथ हमारी आवाम वहां से बेदखल करे। तो मैं समझता हूं कि आज का दिन जो है ये हमारे लिए एक ब्लैक डे है।
The region of Gilgit-Baltistan was a part of the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir before 1947. While Pakistan invaded and occupied a significant portion of Kashmir through its proxy war carried out by Pashtun Lashkars, the region of Gilgit-Baltistan was usurped through a conspiracy carried out by Pakistani leaders and the then commandant of Gilgit Scouts, Major William Brown, who mutinied against the ruler of Jammu and Kashmir. Today, even the British acknowledge that Gilgit-Baltistan is an Indian territory. A few of them have presented a motion in the British Parliament urging it to take a position. The king of the state, Maharaja Hari Singh, had signed the instrument of accession on 26 October 1947, declaring his state's formal merger with India. But Pakistan never vacated the region it had occupied. Even today, the people of the region demand freedom from its clutches. A change in the Gilgit-Baltistan status has only emphasized the brutal fact that Pakistan doesn't care about people and their rights.
Moving on to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, where the locals are upset with the shady attitude of Pakistani authorities who fail to maintain public parks and other infrastructure in the occupied region. The residents allege that the government contractors are destroying the existing infrastructure in the region and the government is acting as a mute spectator.
Whether it is roads, electricity or water, people in the illegally occupied region are not satisfied with any of the essential components of the urban infrastructure in the region. They say that the local administration, which works at the behest of the federal government, has denied them even the basic recreational infrastructure. Parks, pools, trails are alien to the local populace. Even footpaths are missing in Muzaffarabad, the so-called capital of the illegally occupied region. After years of sustained demands, the government had taken up a few infrastructure projects for the town. A few parks which were developed have also been destroyed. People have no clue as to why even the limited facilities are being razed to the ground.
जैसा कि ये आप देखें, इधर बहुत अच्छी प्यारी चौक थी, लोग इसका दूर दूर से नज़ारा करने आते थे और इधर आके इससे लुत्फ़अंदोज़ होते थे। और ये देखें, इसका इन्होंने ये हाल कर दिया, इसको तोड़ के रख दिया है पूरा। तो इसका कोई हाल नहीं रहा। हमारी पैसों की, हमारे टैक्स की कोई कदर नहीं है हुकूमत को, हुकूमत की कोई पॉलिसी नहीं है। जो इधर ये देखें आप, इन्होंने ये चीज़ें लाई थी, गमले वगैरह, लाखों रुपए की चीज़ें इन्होंने तोड़ दी। इम्पोर्टेड घास इन्होंने तोड़ के फेंक दिया है और जगह को पूरी तरह ख़राब करके रख दिया है। जी हुकूमत तो कोई मनसूबाबंदी नहीं कर रही है। आप खुद हाल देख लें इधर। अभी हुकूमत को कुछ इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए, कुछ पॉलिसी करनी चाहिए। और इसको अच्छी तरह बनाना चाहिए दोबारा जिस तरह ये पहले थी, और हमारे टैक्स की कदर करनी चाहिए।
While parks are essential elements of city infrastructure, the so-called government in the region hasn't bothered to care about their existence. They have little regards for the public health, which finds a significant place in policies of various countries across the world. Locals accuse the government of working in cahoots with criminals to take up projects that benefit them and fill their coffers and not help commoners.
गवर्नमेंट यही नज़र आ ही नहीं रही ना सिरे से, लेकिन कुछ काम जो कर रहे हैं वो भी कुछ अरसे के बाद वो लोग जो है उसको ऐसी हालत कर देते हैं कि वो देखने काबिल नहीं रहता, कि वो शायद कुछ लोग जो ऐसा माफिया बीच में बैठा हो कि इतना ताकतवर है कि गवर्नमेंट उसको कुछ कह नहीं सकती, कुछ नहीं सक रही कि यार ये हो क्या रहा है शहर पूरे में। क्या आप देखें इसका हाल क्या कर दिया है, ये देखने काबिल नहीं रही जगह, ऐसा लग रहा है खंडर पड़ा हुआ है ये। हालांकि शहर का वस्त है बिल्कुल दरमियान है, लोग यहाँ पे सुबह जो है वॉक के लिए आते हैं और हालात देखें यहाँ के डस्ट इतनी है कि यहाँ सांस लेना मुश्किल हो रहा है अब।
Islamabad has over the years focused only at the districts and villages it deems fit for its own benefit. The others have been left reeling with even fundamental facilities missing. Pakistan claims to have granted autonomy to the region and an exclusive federal ministry for the affairs of this region. This, however, has proven to be nothing but a deceptive trick to keep international interventions at bay.
Youngsters of Jammu and Kashmir have decided to leave all adversities behind and concentrate on progressing in the direction of their dreams. A number of Kashmiri youngsters are opening their own enterprises and are transforming themselves from job seekers to job providers. The latest addition to this list is Nasreen Akhtar from Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir, who has opened her own venture with the help of a centrally sponsored scheme and has become an inspiration for the youth of the territory. Have a look.
It's been said that women and youngsters are the building blocks of a society. The Government of India has been taking a number of initiatives to educate and empower its youth and women and turn them into a skilled and self-reliant workforce. A number of youngsters in Jammu and Kashmir are coming to the forefront to showcase their abilities and turn themselves into successful entrepreneurs. Nasreen Akhtar is one such young woman entrepreneur from Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir who has started her own business venture with the help of authorities and is inspiring her fellow citizens.
हमें गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया सेंट्रल स्कीम के तहत DIC के ताउन से हमें ये यूनिट मिला। हम यहाँ पर्दे बनाते हैं, कुशन कवर बनाते हैं, पिलो कवर मिलते हैं, यहाँ क्रिवल बनाते हैं और बहुत सारे हम इसमें डिज़ाइन बनाते हैं। जिस तरह हमने ये यूनिट खड़ा किया हमें बहुत फ़ायदा मिला है उससे।
Nasreen has started a business that has a niche in making embroidered bed sheets, curtains and other things. She borrowed a loan from the District Industry Centre in Pulwama under the Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program in order to start her business. Currently employing a total workforce of about 11 youngsters, Akhtar's business is growing at quite a fast pace. The Union Territories Administration is also lending its support to Akhtar and is doing efforts to convert her venture into an MSME so that she can avail more benefits of the scheme.
बिल्कुल यहाँ पुलवामा के पड़ोस में ही है 5 किलोमीटर दूर। उनका जो यूनिट हमने 4-5 साल पहले PMG में वो हमने स्पॉन्सर किया था, तो PMEGP में जो हमने स्पॉन्सर किया था, तो आज अगर हम देखेंगे उसकी बड़ी सक्सेस स्टोरी है। आज तो वो यूनिट बहुत एस्टैब्लिश हुआ है और हम बिल्कुल विद इन ईयर्स टाइम हम उसको कन्वर्ट करने जा रहे हैं MSME में, ताकि उसका और ज़्यादा एडवांटेज मिले, उसका अच्छी तरह से हम क्रेडिट लिंकेज करें और ठीक जो उनका अपना जो बेनिफिट उनको मिलना चाहिए सब्सिडी के हिसाब से, हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उसको बिल्कुल जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से जो भी मुराद है उनको मिले।
Akhtar's enterprise, like many others, has been opened under Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program, which is helping youngsters in exploring new opportunities and starting their own ventures. Launched in 2008, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program is an initiative of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Under the scheme, beneficiaries can get a subsidy amounting to 15 to 35% of the project cost from the government. Its main aim is to facilitate self-employment opportunities for widely dispersed traditional artisans and unemployed rural and urban youth to the degree feasible at their location. In Jammu and Kashmir, there are a total of 3,995 beneficiaries of this scheme. Last year, as many as 2,320 units were set up in the Union Territory under the scheme. It is due to such centre-sponsored schemes that the youngsters of the territory like Nasreen are getting opportunities to turn their dreams into reality and to expand their enterprises easily, further along with building a gateway towards a better and a prosperous future.
Jammu and Kashmir is home to a number of architectural marvels which are standing tall for decades because of the collective efforts by both authorities as well as the residents. Today we take you to Srinagar, where the authorities are restoring a stone building. It is an initiative undertaken by the Kashmiri authorities to preserve the history and architecture of Kashmir for the coming generations. Have a look.
Kashmir Valley is famous for its old-aged and rich heritage structures. Some of these sculptures even hold national significance for the historical backdrop of India. Located amidst the lush green views of the valley, these historic marvels are maintained by the collective efforts of both the citizens and the administration. With a similar aim to preserve the cultural heritage and structure of Kashmir Valley, authorities in Srinagar city have started restoration work of a historical building.
हमने एक प्लान बनाया फॉर कंजर्वेशन, रेस्टोरेशन, प्रिजर्वेशन का। तो पिछले 1 साल से इसको काम चल रहा है। जो भी हमने पहले फ़ोटो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन की है इसकी, उसके बाद में हमने इसको काम लगाया। तो हमने अकॉर्डिंगली वही ख़त्मबंद, वही मटेरियल, वही सारा कुछ इस्तेमाल वही किया। क्योंकि जब ये एस्टेट्स के पास थी ये बिल्डिंग, उस समय उन्होंने काफ़ी इसमें चूना किया था, ऊपर वाइट वॉश किया था और जो ख़त्मबंद था उसको कलर किया था। वो हमें पूरा रिमूव करना पड़ा और ओरिजिनलिटी इसको लानी पड़ी।
This is the old Secretariat building located on the banks of Jhelum River in Srinagar city. A number of politicians have held their office in this building at the time of Dogra rule in the region. Apart from being a building of national and political importance, the building is also an architectural marvel with peculiar wooden doors, windows and ceilings. Being carried out with a total budget of Rs 1,34 lakhs, carpenters and masons have been employed for restoring, polishing and refurbishing the wooden interiors of the building.
आजकल हम इसको फिर रिपेयरिंग कर रहे हैं, वैसे ही कर रहे हैं। यहाँ पर पंजरकारी लगी हुई है जो कश्मीर में थी, पहले ज़माने में थी 1800-1700 में। जी हाँ, जाली वाली खिड़कियाँ आती थी, वैसे ही आजकल फिर हमने शुरू ये किया। ये क्यों, ये बहुत पुरानी है, 200-300 साल पुरानी है, सुना है हमने 200-300 साल पुरानी है, तो इस पे काम कर रहे हैं हम।
The restoration work is being carried out by the Department of Archives, Archaeology and Museums, Jammu and Kashmir, a dedicated department for identifying and preserving cultural heritage of the territory. Presently, interiors are being renovated with 50% of the dedicated budget. Alongside, the department will prepare a detailed project report, that is DPR, for starting the restoration work of the exteriors of the building with the other half of the received money. Locals are lauding such initiatives undertaken by the authorities, as they feel that steps like these act as a tourism magnet and bring more business to the region and are helpful in educating the upcoming generation about the long-gone history and heritage of the region.
इससे पता चलता है हमें कि हम भी, हमारे कुछ पुरखे जो है, हमारी जो पहचान है, किसी न किसी कल्चर है जो किसी न किसी से है। जैसे कि हम बाहर जाते हैं, जामा मस्जिद है यहाँ दिल्ली में या कुतुब मीनार है, वहाँ लोग एज ए टूरिस्ट बनकर जाते हैं बहुत सारे। तो वो अगर इसी तरीके से यहाँ हम करेंगे कुछ ऐसे टूरिस्ट प्लेस बना जाए इन जगहों को, तो यहाँ एक तो बेरोज़गारी भी ख़त्म हो जाएगी और हेरिटेज भी इनका हमें पता चलेगा कि हमारे आने वाली नस्लें भी उनको पता चलेगी कि हमारे पुरखों ने क्या क्या छोड़ी है यहाँ।
It is through these continuous efforts done by authorities in Jammu and Kashmir that the age-old monuments and sites are standing tall and are catching eyeballs of tourists and heritage lovers worldwide.
And finally, we take you to the holy city of Amritsar, where the birth anniversary of the fourth Sikh Guru, Guru Ram Das, was celebrated with great religious fervour. Also known as Prakash Parv, the festival was celebrated at the magnificent Golden Temple amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's take a look at these colourful celebrations in our special edition of Incredible India.
Let no man live in delusion. Without a guru, none can cross to the other shore. Teachings like these of Sikh Gurus have not only been acting as a guiding lamp for members of the Sikh community, but for all human beings regardless of their religion, caste, creed or gender. Believed to be the founder of Amritsar city, Guru Ram Das was fourth in the list of 10 Sikh Gurus who propagated meaningful teachings of Sikhism. Recently, his birth anniversary was celebrated at the Golden Temple in Punjab with full fervour amid the pandemic.
सतगुरु गुरु रामदास पातशाह ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਬਾਨੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਸ਼ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਗਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਬੜੇ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਚਾਅ ਨਾਲ ਮਨਾਉਂਦੀ ਆ। ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਰਮ ਧਰਮ ਕਰਤੱਵ ਆ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਣਾ।
On the occasion, members of the Sikh community organized a colourful Nagar Kirtan, community singing of hymns in a procession to mark the auspicious occasion. The Nagar Kirtan was led by the Panch Pyaras, the five beloved Sikhs carrying the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy scriptures of the Sikhs in a golden palanquin in the premises of Sikhism's holiest shrine, the Golden Temple. The procession saw devotees perform Gatka, a Sikh martial art form, and demonstrate their sword fighting skills. Every year, thousands of devotees take part in the procession that begins from Akal Takht, highest temporal seat of Sikhism, and tours around the city. However, with the pandemic this year, the procession was scaled down and was confined to the temple premises.
कोरोना महामारी के प्रकोप ਨੂੰ ਮੁੱਖ ਰੱਖਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆਂ ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿਹਤ ਵਿਭਾਗ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸੀਮਿਤ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਔਰ ਗਲਿਆਰੇ ਤੱਕ ਸੀਮਿਤ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਹਰਮੰਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਲਿਆਰੇ ਦੇ ਪਰਿਕਰਮਾ ਹੈ ਵੱਡੀ ਪਰਿਕਰਮਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਾਉਂਡ ਲਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸੇ ਜਾਹੋ ਜਲਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸੇ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖ਼ਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਸੰਪੰਨ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ।
Later in the evening, devotees offered prayers at the Golden Temple and marked the occasion with lighting earthen oil lamps. They also enjoyed colourful fireworks later.
बहुत अच्छा लगा। हर साल आते हैं, देश विदेश से संगत आती है। जहाँ पर जो भी संगत आती है खुशी के लिए अरदास करती है, अपने घर परिवार के लिए अरदास करती है। वैसे ही संगत अपने जो वर्ल्ड में महामारी फैली है कोविड-19 की, उसके लिए भी अरदास करती है कि जल्द से जल्द ये बीमारी ठीक हो और दुनिया वैसे ही जल्द से जल्द अपने काम काज पर लग जाए।
Guru Ramdas was believed to be born in the year 1534. The Sikh fraternity reveres this event and celebrates this festival with great zeal and enthusiasm.
So that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from our entire production team.